Welcome to Shenkman Education. My name is Marty Shenkman. We have a real-life case study. We're going to talk about a fact pattern, hypothetical, that interesting to demonstrate a lot of estate planning points. So here's the hypothetical story. Mom inherited from her family a camp. Could be a compound, could be a vacation home, cottage, whatever you want to call it. We're going to call it a camp. This camp had been in the family since the 1940s. That's a long time. Mom wants to keep it in the family for generations to come. They have 3 daughters. How do you do it? So they live in New York and the camp is in Vermont. So they went to an estate planner in New York and asked, can you help me plan for this camp? And the New York estate planner they went to, and I'm not sure why, said, I can't do anything, you got to go to an attorney in Maine. And the attorney in Maine told them, well, you know, that's fine if you have this camp, this cottage vacation home. What you really should do is just give it outright to the kids in your will and it's done. What's so complicated? So first of all, that's not a great answer. You can't say right or wrong. All the facts can depend on the circumstances. I don't love that answer from the attorney in Maine, because if you want an asset to continue in the family for generations to come, really the best way to do it is to first put it into a trust that will continue in perpetuity. That way you can control it and decide who gets it. We're going to come back to that point. I don't love what the lawyer in New York told the family, because it was kind of, I don't mean to be disrespectful to whoever this attorney might have been in the hypothetical, but it's kind of like he punted because he really didn't know what to do. It is correct you need a Maine attorney, but it doesn't mean that the attorney in New York, in the home state for the family, couldn't help a lot with the planning. So here's just some thoughts, and again, this is only for hypothetical and educational purposes, but it illustrates how planning can be done better. What I would probably think of doing, and I need more facts and want to research it, and yes, if I'm in New York and there's a real estate property, a camp we'll call it again, in Maine, I'd want a Maine attorney involved, but it doesn't mean I can't help the people. First, I'd want an LLC, limited liability company, set up to own the property. You don't want to own property without an entity, because if there's a lawsuit or a claim, you don't want to find that your home and other personal assets could get affected. So that's the first thing. A lawyer anywhere in the country can probably set up an LLC. You can do it online, even yourself. I shouldn't say that as a lawyer, right? But you can do it online for yourself. But it's not so much the setting up the LLC, it's the planning, it's the documentation, it's how you implement it where you want the professional help. The act of setting it up is not expensive and not a big deal. Get an LLC set up. You put the farm or the camp into the LLC. For that, you must have local counsel. You really shouldn't do it on your own. You want a real estate attorney in the state where the real estate is to put it into the LLC in case there's property tax issues. There could be grandfathering of special environmental rights. There could be all sorts of stuff. So you want a local real estate lawyer to do it. It's not just doing a deed. Maybe that's all it is, but what if it's not? You need help. Next, what I would do is set up a trust in a jurisdiction, not necessarily New York, and probably not New York, because the tax system isn't great. The duration for which a trust can last is limited. It can't be perpetual. Maybe you go to a trust-friendly state. If you want to be near Vermont or Maine in New England, New Hampshire has great laws. You could set up a trust that could go on in perpetuity, transfer the LLC to the trust. That's another reason you want an LLC to be a wrapper for the property, because now you can transfer a property in, say, Vermont to a trust in New Hampshire. It's a different jurisdiction. You can't own real estate outside of the state where the trust is formed and administered, as situs is a legal term, because you'll be subject to the other state's laws. So wrapping it in an LLC makes it an intangible asset. You can do that. Next question. What do you do? Who gets the income or the benefit from the property? If it's a personal use property, and you hear this talked about a lot with like a cottage, a vacation home, what we've done in the LLC operating agreement, that's the legal document that governs the running of the LLC. What we've done is actually put in requirements and rules in the operating agreement that governs the use of the property. And it may sound silly, but one of the big things that comes up is who gets to use the cottage on certain holidays. So for example, if you have something in Colorado, it's going to be ski season where people are going to want prime time. In a lot of cases, and it's probably the single biggest fight that I've seen between kids on a family vacation home, Who gets at Christmas time? We all want to go there Christmas time. So we'll set up a rotational thing. They can always agree to do what they want if they're all getting along, but if somebody's not getting along, it's there. We also deal with funding in the trust and the LLC. If the property needs a new roof, needs maintenance, who's going to pay for it? Ideally, if you get enough money in the trust to cover future maintenance costs, that doesn't become a problem. If not, you may need to get the family members to sign on as a condition to contribute what's necessary for maintenance costs. So again, we started with a hypothetical where somebody went to get some, what sounds like reasonable family advice and planning. You got two, what I wouldn't call optimal, I hate to use that word, but maybe not the best advice or guidance or punting from the different attorneys involved. What we've tried to do is give you some examples and different ways you can go about addressing it. The main point is think through logically what you're trying to do. If you're going to an attorney and they don't seem to give you a good answer, try another attorney. And no offense to the internet, be very careful what you read online. So much of it is just not great. Again, keep in mind that all these video clips are for educational purposes only. Don't take any action without consulting a lawyer. I know it sounds like a lawyer, but forgive me. Thank you for joining us.